99% students don't know this exam hack. Today I want to speak to every student who is preparing for exams, whether in a city school or a rural background, whether in 10th standard or 12th standard. There is one important truth that most students do not understand. Success in exams does not depend only on how much you study. It depends on how you study. Most students believe that studying for long hours automatically leads to good marks. They think that reading textbooks again and again and memorizing everything is enough. However, this is not the reality. The real difference between an average student and a topper is not intelligence. The difference is the method of study. The biggest exam hack is simple. Study in a smart way, not just in a hard way. The real problem with most students follow the wrong approach. They spend hours reading chapters without checking whether they actually understand or remember the content. They revise only before exams. They focus on completing the syllabus rather than mastering it. Because of this, they forget what they study and feel stressed during exams. On the other hand, top students use a completely different approach. They do not just read, they actively engage with the material. They test themselves regularly. They practice writing answers. They revise in a planned manner. This is the real exam strategy that most students do not know. First success story, a rural student. Let us understand this with a real-life inspired example. There was a student named Ramesh from a small village. He studied in a government school. He did not have coaching classes, digital resources, or a comfortable study environment. Sometimes he even studied with limited electricity. In his 10th standard, he scored only 52%. People around him believed that students from rural backgrounds cannot compete with students from cities. Some even suggested that he should stop dreaming about higher education. However, Ramesh decided to change his method instead of giving up. He started focusing on understanding concepts instead of memorizing them. After studying each topic, he tested himself by writing answers without looking at the book. He created short notes in his own language and revised them regularly. He also solved previous year question papers to understand exam patterns. He did not increase his study hours. He improved his study method. As a result, in his 12th board examination, he scored 89%. Today, he is studying in a good college in a city. His success proves one important truth. Your background does not decide your future, your method decides your success. Another example I would like to share you is of a student named Anjali, who belonged to a farming family. Her parents worked hard in agriculture, and she also had responsibilities at home. Because of this, she did not have long hours to study. Instead of feeling weak, she developed a focused strategy. She studied only a few hours daily, but those hours were fully dedicated and distraction-free. She followed 3 simple principles. First, she actively recalled what she learned instead of just reading. Second, she wrote answers regularly to improve her writing speed. Third, she revised her topics at fixed intervals. At first, she was an average student, but gradually, her performance improved. In her board exams, she scored 92%. Her success shows that even limited time, when used correctly, can produce excellent results. There was another student named Vikram who was always considered an average learner. He believed that he was not intelligent enough to score high marks. One of his teachers advised him to change his learning style. The teacher told him to study like a teacher rather than like a student. Vikram started explaining topics to himself aloud. He imagined that he was teaching a classroom. He tested himself after every topic and identified his mistakes. He worked on those mistakes instead of ignoring them. Slowly, his confidence increased. His understanding became stronger. In his final board exams, he achieved top marks in his class. This example proves that confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build through practice and a right method. The common pattern in all success stories. If we observe carefully, all these students had different backgrounds. One came from a rural village, one from a farming family, and one was an average student. However, all of them followed one common principle. They changed their study method. They did not depend only on reading. They focused on testing themselves, practicing regularly, and revising strategically. The real exam hack. The real exam hack can be summarized in a simple system. First, understand the concept instead of memorizing blindly. Second, test yourself after studying each topic. Third, revise the material in a planned manner. Fourth, practice writing answers regularly. This system trains the brain to remember better and perform confidently in exams. Final message. Every student is capable of scoring good marks. There is no such thing as a weak student by nature. The only difference is the approach. Some students follow the right strategy, while others continue using ineffective methods. If a student is willing to change their method, improve their discipline, and stay consistent, success becomes inevitable. Your location, your school, or your background does not define your future. Your study method defines it. The truth is simple. Most students do not fail because they cannot study. They struggle because they never learn how to study correctly. And once you understand this one idea, your entire academic journey can change.